Welcome to another episode of Scouting Fatwood Stump Adventures, and this is episode 30, folks, and this is part 1. After hiking a little bit, I came across a creek or body of water that's leading into the river right behind me where I'm pointing to. You probably can see it from there, but I'm going to run parallel and try to get close as I can and see if there's anything out here, because behind me, if you see this, all of that behind me, and you can see how beautiful these trees are too. Look at those trees, folks. Beautiful oak trees. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to head right behind me. I'm going to head in the direction I'm pointing to with my machete. I'm going to head down to this clear patch here so I could see if I could come across any dead pine trees. This is the only place that I could actually walk through because some of this bush, folks, is just so thick that it's almost impossible to walk through. It'll take me all day just cutting through it. So I found an open patch here, and I'm going to head toward the river and parallel what you see behind me. If you can see where I'm pointing to, that's a stream. That's a little creek, if I'm not mistaken, and I have to be careful because there are snakes out here. Stay with me, folks. This is going to be one great scouting fatwood adventure. Okay, folks, what you can see here, what I have here is this little creek. I'm going to see if I could find any type of dead pine trees around here. And this is the only open patch of woods that I found, because everything, folks, is dense, just like you see there. It's almost impossible to walk through. All of this, almost impossible to walk through, folks. So this is the only open area that I have. I'm walking parallel to this creek, folks, that's feeding into the river, and it's not far from here, but this is the only patch of woods. This is the only patch that I can actually walk through without having to cut through some heavy bush like you see here. That's just too heavy for me to be cutting through. So I was lucky enough to find this opening, and I'm going to keep moving along here. This is amazing. This looks like something from a prehistoric movie. Look how beautiful these oak trees are, and everything is hanging down, all the old man's beard hanging down. This is incredibly beautiful. Wow. I'm planning to do a stealth camp, and I will keep you informed and let you know when I'm going to do a stealth camp out here. And these are some really nice locations here, secluded, not far from the highway, but but with enough cover not to be seen. Okay, folks, I'm going to keep going down. I see another body of water here, a little dried up creek, but I'm not going to take chances because there are lots of snakes out here, folks. So I'm looking right across there. I see a dead tree. That looks like oak. So I'm just going to keep going down the line, folks. Stay with me. Look at that, folks. Those little crabs, whatever they are. Look at them. I wanted to show you that. Here we are, folks. There's no way I'm going down in that. And you can see all of those, whatever they are. Hope that's nothing that can fly. And I'm looking across to that other side. There's openings there also, but I'm not going to cross over here. So we're just going to keep going straight down the line here, folks, until I get toward the river. And if there's nothing, I'm going to have to head back. Okay. Stay with me, folks. There you have it, folks. My first find of today, a very heavy piece of wood here. Look at this. That's one nice piece of wood there. I'm going to hold this up, get out the sun to show it to you. Look at that. I just chopped into it with my machete. And that is definitely fat wood there, folks. Oh yeah. I'm going to come back. I'm not going to carry this with me, just in case there's nothing out there toward the river. Just in case there's nothing out there toward the river, folks, and I have to come back this way, I'm definitely going to take this piece of wood with me. Probably just cut it up and process it and carry it in my pack. And I'm going to keep going, and I'm getting close toward the end, folks, where I may not be able to go any further. And I do see flies, and I hope they're not horse flies, because that's what you may encounter when you get close to that river. I may be near a nest, because I see lots of them, and there it is. That's it, folks. I'm not going any further. I believe this patch here goes straight out, But that's the marsh right there. And there's homes on the other side. And that goes out for miles. I mean miles. I don't know if you could see that through there. But I'm just going to go down a little more. And it seems like it dried up here. But I'm not sure about going any further, folks. Don't know. I don't know if I can. But I do see an opening there. And here too, folks. Look at that. On that side. Nothing but marshland. I may have to start going back, heading back. Because I Googled this area, and it did go out with trees. And I do see pine trees in the back. But I don't see anything that's dead. Unless that's a... No. I'm going to have to turn back, folks. And get out of this patch of woods. There it is. That's the marsh with homes. And you can see how far it goes. It's way back there, folks, if you can see in the background. And in that tree also. I got to get out of here. Okay, folks, we're going back. Hey, folks, here we are. I found a place in the shade under some cover here because it is extremely hot. And this is the piece of wood that I found, and that is pure fatwood. The weight of this is about, I would say, 3 to 4 pounds. Solid wood. This is just totally solid wood, folks, and I'm going to cut into this, and I'm going to cut it in smaller pieces so I can carry it with me. And by the way, I found this old dead log here. This is definitely pine wood. It's definitely fatwood, folks. Here we are. And that's a piece I'm going to cut. Now look at these little knots. And there's more that goes all the way to the very end. All the way to the end. Welcome back, folks. And I did find a little shady area with, as you can see, a dead pine log, a small one. And it does have small knots, and I am more like, I prefer larger ones, but I'm going to harvest a few of these. So what I want to do first, this is the first piece that I found along my hiking adventure, scouting for fatwood. And I did come back because I couldn't go any further, and it went straight out into that, into the marsh. It went straight out into that marsh, folks, and I don't want to get caught out there, especially quicksand, any type of soft mud. So I'm going to cut this in half. Then I'm going to see what it has, and I'm going to clean it up a little bit. So stay with me, folks. I'm going to cut this right here, right where you see that looks like part of a knot. So I'm going to cut it right here to see what we get. And this is solid wood, folks. I can tell, and it's very old. It's been sitting out there a long time. And I do have the head cam on. I don't have my third camera on yet because I'm looking for a nice location to harvest some really nice pieces of fatwood. Okay, there it is. And it smells wonderful. Look at that. That's premium fatwood there, folks. Premium fatwood. Solid fatwood. All the way to here. You can see both of these pieces. So what I want to do now, I want to chop into this with my axe and see. Oh, by the way, I found this one. This one's about at least 2 to 3 pounds. One heavy piece of wood. I'm going to just chop into it right now to see if, oh boy. Folks, wait, do you see what I'm chopping into? A piece of fatwood gold. Look at that. That is some beautiful gold. Fatwood gold. I'm going to clean this up and get all this. I'm going to clean this up in a minute, folks. And I'm going to also check this log out thoroughly to see if there's any other big pieces hidden somewhere in here. Folks, I do see a pine tree in the background, and I'm going to check it out in a minute. I just want to cut into this a little more to know if I want to take this or not. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut into this piece right here just to see if this is worth taking. I don't want to carry wood that I'm not going to use. I'm looking for prime cuts of fatwood, folks. I'm looking for the petro. I'm looking for petro, folks. Pure petro. I don't want fatwood that has some degrees of pine resin. I want fully saturated wood. Okay. Well, this looks pretty good here, folks. You can see that. I think that's pretty good. Okay. You know something? This is not the quality that I'm looking for. It's just not good enough for me. Okay, what I'm going to do, get back to this one. What I want to do first, let me see. I'm going to cut it. This is a solid knot. There's no way I'm going to be able to cut through it. That's good wood, but even though this looks good, it's not good enough for what I want. So I'm going to cut this, like I would say, right here. And we're going to see what's in this wood, if this also is worth taking. And that's some solid wood there, folks. Solid wood. I don't have my third camera running right now because this is not a location that I'm going to be filming in for long. So I didn't want to get all of my gear out. Wow, it's not easy. Okay. Definitely what I'm looking for, folks. That's the kind of fatwood that I'm looking for. And I didn't see it when I first came to this fallen little dead pine log. I didn't see it. It was buried underneath this piece of wood here. Wow. And this heat and this kind of weather, it's hard. Not easy, folks. Okay. That's the quality of fatwood I'm looking for, folks. Definitely. Look at that, folks. Look at that beautiful fatwood. Get this out of the sun. Look at that. Beautiful piece. My first piece. My first couple of pieces. Now listen, folks, when you go out scouting for fatwood, looking for fatwood, hiking through the woods looking, there's no guaranteed you're going to find fatwood. There's no guarantee. You could be out there for hours. Now, if you're in pine country, it's most likely, more likely you will find something. If it ain't a lot, you definitely will find something. You just got to keep going until you come across dead pine logs. Here's a beautiful piece. Here's a beautiful piece of fatwood I'm taking with me, folks. This one's pretty good, but it's not what I want because I already cut into the middle of it, and this is what I see, and I'm not crazy about that. I want more something like this. I'm going to cut. Okay, folks, here I am. Now I came across a dead fallen pine tree, a small one, nothing too big, nothing to brag about. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set my cameras up. If you look behind me, this is one huge old oak tree, a fallen dead oak, right behind me, and I'm kind of standing right on top of it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set the cameras up. I'm going to harvest about 3 or 4, 5 of these pine knots. They're not really big, huge ones, but there's something I can take home with me because I know there is concentrations of pine resin in this wood. So this is a small find, nothing big. Like I said, I am walking through these woods blindly, and I know I can't get lost because as long as I can hear those cars, I just got to walk in that direction and I'll be out of the woods. Like I said, that way I'm pointing is the river, the marshland, and it goes for miles, more than 10, 20 miles. You don't want to get caught in that. Okay, so folks, what I'm going to do, I'm going to set the cameras up and we're going to start harvesting some of this wood. I'm going to show to you. It's going to be challenging to set the cameras up because I'm like right in the middle of a puddle of water, I'm right in the middle of a body of water here, folks. So I got to make sure I can get these cameras set up without, getting anything, without destroying my camera gear. That's water. All of that's water. So I'm kind of working in a very wet area. So this is the first piece that I'm going to be cutting. All the way down the line, there's a few of them. Okay, folks, here we are. And this is going to be the first piece I'm going to be cutting out of here. First piece I'm going to cut. And this is solid wood, folks. I can tell you that. This is definitely solid wood. You can hear that. I'm going to cut as close as I can right here. Here we go. It's going to be a little shaky with this camera here. I'll try my best. Okay, here we go. First piece I'm cutting, and I know. Look at that. There it is. Beautiful piece of fatwood. I have a whole bunch. I have about 5 or 6 pieces. And there it is. Look at the length of this. I'm going to cut this down. I know there's not fatwood in this whole piece of wood right here. I would say probably up to here. Probably good fatwood, but this is the first piece. Now I'm going to come down a little lower here, and I'm going to cut another piece. So I'm going to have to reposition the cameras. Next piece here, right here. Here we go. That's a nice piece of fatwood too. May look easy. Maybe it's not that hard. Depending on who you are, and depending on how hot it is. Okay, a little more to go. Okay, I think I got it. I don't think I have to cut into this anymore. There we are. That's the reward for scouting fatwood. What a beautiful piece of fatwood after. And I'm going to clean up out here, folks, and do a burn for you also. I just got to harvest a few more pieces off this dead fallen pine tree. Cut this one. Wow. Whew. Almost there. Look at that. Wow. That is some serious fatwood there, folks. Look at that. That's a beautiful piece of fatwood right there. I'm going to keep going down the line. And I am in the shade. Blessed to be in the shade again. Okay. I have one right here. I'm going to reposition. There we are. Any questions? Beautiful fatwood, folks. Beautiful fatwood. Look at that. It's been laying in the water. Look at that. Okay. Stay with me, folks. I only have a few more pieces to cut, process, show you the power of the burn, and make my tracks out of here. Right at the shoulder. Sorry about the shaky camera. That's the best angle I can get with it sitting on here. Don't have much to go. about it. Wow. That's it, folks. There we go. That's a nice piece of fatwood. A long one, but all of this I can't use. Just to show you, I'm going to cut about up to here. And you can see it also in that other camera. And there it is. Piece of fatwood. And folks, I think it's starting to rain. Yes, it is. They called for thunder showers, and I hope I'm not caught in one, a thunderstorm. So I may have to cut this video short for a minute and start packing up. And see you shortly. Okay, folks, I have more than enough I want to carry out of here. Just to show you, look at that. This is what I had to work with today. A dead fallen pine laying right in a huge puddle of water. All the way this way. And this is right near the river. And I would not doubt if there's any snakes around here. Look at that. I am in the middle of nowhere, not far from the highway. Look at that. Look at that huge fallen pine tree. I'm going to show you another view real quick. Look at that. Wow. Oh. I'm going to crawl right up here on top of this oak tree. Huge, huge fallen oak. And it's drizzling. Wow. I don't know what's back there, folks. It could be a whole bunch of dead fallen pine trees. But at this point, I'm ready to process a piece of fatwood and do a burn for you and make my tracks out of here. It's hard to breathe. And I'm hot. Okay, folks, what I'm going to do, I'm trying to pick a piece out that I want to cut and do a burn for you. I chose this little piece right here. I'm going to cut a piece of it off, maybe down the middle. I'm going to cut this right down the middle, take some shavings from the inside and do a burn for you real quick. Then I'm going to be heading out of these woods. Stay with me, folks. There it is, that quick. And I want to show you how beautiful this wood is. Look at that. That's some nice fatwood right there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut down right to the side of it where I see that concentrations of pine resin. And that's what I want. I want something like this. And that's what I'm going to do a burn from. There it is, folks. So I'm going to take some shavings. Wow. With my knife, I'm going to put it right here. Trying to get right in the middle of the camera for you. I have shavings right there ready, folks. You know what? While I'm out here, I have a knife specifically for that. And this is a beautiful little knife I have here. It's excellent for taking shavings off of the pieces of fatwood. This little knife here. Look at that. That's what more like that I could take fine shavings and curl shavings more than this fat one, this fat survival knife. That's a really thick spine on that knife. Okay, so I'm not going to use that. Put that to the side. I'm out in the middle of nowhere, folks, not far from the highway, but there's no path here, nothing. And only my only guide is the noise from the highway. All right, here we go. I'm going to start this over again, and you can see this is a really sharp spine. That spine on this little knife is sharp, and you can see that, how it just takes right off. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, I'm going to do some curl shavings. Look at this. Wow. Watch this. This is like wax, this shavings right here. Look at that. You need a good base to do this on. The wood right here, this is probably good. There it is. You can see that. You can see that, folks. The shavings come right off. Look at that. I don't want to lose any of this. That is a really serious, potent fatwood. Look at that. That is a serious piece of potent fatwood. That's high octane fatwood right there, folks. And these little shavings, and I'm going to take a little more curl shavings, and I'm going to put this thing right up. You can see that. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. There it is. Look at the smell. Oh my goodness. If we had smell-o-vision, you can see how great that smells. I love that smell of pine. A little more. And this is freshly cut open, or something that I just harvested. Turn that to the other side. Get a few more. I think that's it, folks. That's going to be enough to get something going, definitely. And it's just for a demonstration to show you the potency of this pine resin wood. I have mud all over my boots, folks. This is the messiest location I have made a video so far. Okay. Just going to dump it right there. Wow. That's it right there, folks. And we're going to do... And I have my little burl cerium rod here. There it is, folks. And this little striker, people may say bad things about this. I mean, I could take this knife, because this has a sharp spine. You can see that. You can see that. Look. I'll probably use it with this, folks. Oh, okay. There it is. That quick. Just one little tap, and look at that. That's it, folks. That is the power of the burr to show you the potency of this wood. Now, I'm right near water, so this is not going to be any threat to the woods here. But look at that. I want to show you the power of the burn, folks. That is incredible. Look how that goes up. Now, this gives you so much time to light a fire. Look at that. It's not going out yet until all of that shavings and curl shavings that I just made, until that burns out. What's burning is that resin, is that petrol in that wood that's keeping it lit. Look at that. I'm going to take this out of there, throw that in the water, making sure that's out. Look at this, folks. That's the power of the burn. Did you just see how easy that just lit up with one little tiny spark? Boom, it went right up. That's to show you the potency of this wood. This wood is super, super potent wood. Wow, this is incredible wood here. Right from this, but look at that. That's incredible fatwood, folks. That is it. This is going to conclude. This will conclude the video, and I'm going to go home and begin editing and bring you another beautiful episode of Scouting Fatwood Stump Adventures. This is episode 30, folks. I'm just going to let that burn itself out to show you, just to show you how long that thing stays lit. If you can't get a fire with all that borrowed time, stay home and practice. Don't go out there thinking that you can do something like this that is that easy. I make it look easy because I know what I'm doing. I'm well trained and I'm well educated, knowing how to look for, harvest fatwood. Okay, folks, this is Hikaloo with the Outdoor Wilderness Wildlife Adventures, and this is Scouting Fatwood Stump Adventures, episode 30. Until next time, folks, be safe, get outdoors. Get outdoors. It's still burning, folks. Waiting for this thing to stop burning so I can shut the cameras off. Look at that. This is incredible. This is totally incredible to show you how long this wood can burn. I'm going to put it out and chuck it right in the water. All of that is in the water right now, folks, so there's nothing that can catch fire. And all this is damp wood. All this is wet wood because it's right next to the fire and water there. Okay, this is going to conclude the video. Scouting Fatwood Stump Adventures, episode 30. I'm your host, Hiker Lou, from the Outdoor Wilderness Wildlife Adventures. Until next time, be safe, get outdoors,